First of all, I just want to show you a track that I've been working with Steph in the studio. Say hello, Steph.
Hey.
So what I've been doing with Steph today and yesterday, Steph's pretty much brand new to production in terms of using Logic and understanding how to make music properly. He's been kind of doing an element here and an element there, getting lost, getting frustrated, starting again. So I've taught him over the last couple of days to follow my 10-step guide. So what he did the structure, put in his remix parts, put some basic sounds to the remix parts, made sure that they were okay. And then he put a good sound to the lead, the pad, and the bass. He then mixed them all. He then did all the automation. He then put the lead and the bass throughout the entire track. And then what we did was we did the sub bass. So I got him to design the sub bass using the drone. He's just made a nice simple offbeat bass line. So I've taught him how to do all that. We then got the bass to rumble, which is imperative when you're doing a bass. Then we did all the kicks. Then Stefan, he mixed the kicks with the bass, got all the levels correct, which in turn led to being able to get these levels correct for the lead, the pad, and the drone. And then today he's done the bass line. Now, bearing in mind how this has worked is I've shown Steph every single step of the way, and then he's gone and done it. It's taken a couple of tries. There's been frustrating moments. There's been moments of silliness where I've left him to it, come back and he's put the bass in the wrong key and things like that. But listen, this is all part of learning, you know, and I'm proud to say this is all Steph's work. Is he going to be able to do it when I'm not here? That's the question. And when he leaves today, he's going to have some homework and he's going to basically have to do exactly what we've got up to. So, you know, we're going to probably be able to do the percussion and the effects today. So I'm going to get him to do everything we've done in these 2 days on his own. But I'm going to get him to do, you know, 3 stages at a time and check it. And for me, this is the best way to learn. I mean, Stefan is a one-to-one client. But yeah, I just wanted to show you what he's done so far. And yeah, so listen. So look, the mixing's a little bit off, but to say Steph has come down to the studio and didn't have a clue how to do things how I wanted it, he's done super well. I'm really impressed with how he's taken everything on board. Let's just go to the drop. You know, so all the elements are there and it's sounding good at this stage. The reason it sounds good is because we mixed it as it should be. We've done every step as it should be. Rather than putting a sound on and thinking, it doesn't sound that good, but, you know, we'll move on. That's no way to make music. And think of it like this. If you're building a house and you build the foundations, the kick and bass are the foundations of your said house. So if you are building a house, you can't fuck about and half-arse the foundations because what's going to happen? The house is going to fall down, blah, blah, blah. And I love the house analogy because it works hand in hand with making music. But look, Steph has made this track from the ground up. And is it perfect? Yeah, no. Are there a couple of mixing issues? Yeah, probably. But is it sorry. Are the foundations solid to do the layering and get the mixing right? Absolutely. So lastly, I just showed Steph the bass. And we've done 3 different types of bass lines. Kept it simple. We've done 2 bits of audio. So 2 bits of MIDI using different patterns and an audio. Now, the bottom one, I wanted something that's full, something that's thick, the body of the track, the body of the bass, something that's got lots of frequencies between 200 and 10k. That's what's called the low mid frequencies, super important. Super simple sound, but as you can see by the EQ, there's lots of nice fat frequencies. Now we want something with a bit of drive, something that's going to pump the track. Again, lots of nice low mids, but this time some nice highs as well. Albeit this bass had highs too. Still, this one's going to be more, more prominent in the highs. And lastly, I wanted to teach him how to use audio. Audio is super, super good if you're starting out and you're struggling with your mid basses. I relied heavily on the Activa and Dave Parkinson sample packs back when I was, 26 and I was starting out. Over time, I've managed to get to the point where I don't really use audio anymore, but it's a really good way to beef up your bass lines and get them to sound professional when you're struggling with your sound. This sound is lovely because it's got lots of low mids and it's also got some nice highs. And more importantly, it changes things up. It makes things nice and varied. One thing Steph's forgot to do, which I've just noticed, is he's not put the spreader on the audio. On audio, I like to spread it out a little bit, around 30%. Remember, you've got up and down, but you've also got left and right in the frequency range. Make sure that you're using that. So all you have to do is write what percentage you use, and when the track's finished, you should have 20 to 30 elements spread or panned between 0%, between 1% and 100%, and that way you're making use of the stereo field. So let's play all the bass lines together, starting with the thickest, working his way up. And yeah, it sounds great. Is it perfect? No, but I'm very happy with it, and it's with a little bit of mixing, which I'm going to do in a minute, it's going to be much better. So look, mixing's all down to ears and perception, what room you're in, what speakers you've got. So it might not even sound much different on your end, but let me just remix it myself. Things to note: on the mid-bass bus, we've got an EQ. It's not really doing anything. We've got an LFO tool for sidechaining. We've got a Mag EQ4 with a female vocal A setting. It always goes back to untitled, but it has got that setting on there. And then we've got the limiter. Lastly, we've got some reverb on the send and return. Super important. So we've also forgot this sample delay. So another thing Steph's not quite got right. We want to put a sample delay left. And on the other one, we want to put a sample delay going right. Sample delay basically puts your sounds out of time ever so slightly. And in turn, what it does is it makes things nice and wide. So you have one going to the left, one going to the right. Lovely, very happy with that. Cool. So this is the track so far. Now what we're going to do next, we're going to put the track throughout we're going to put the mid bass throughout the track. However, it's not that simple because we've got audio. So I'm going to show you guys how to use Wave Soundshifter and how to quickly and efficiently put your audio throughout your track. Because I know that a lot of people are scared of using audio because of this, but look, it's really simple. You've just got to be patient, methodical, and not get too stressed. It can be very overwhelming when you do this. And I remember back when I started doing it, I was getting lost and I was getting frustrated, and I kind of get this anxious kind of stress rising up in my body, and it's an awful feeling. And over time, I just learned to kind of control it, and by having a clean project and an organized project, and most importantly, by following the 10-step guide that I teach, having all of the elements correctly mixed to this point, it makes life much easier. So first things first, nice and simple, we're going to get this bass line. I'm just going to look at it. So it goes G, F, D sharp. So what we're going to do is we're going to split these up. Now we're going to split them up as a visual representation. So G. Even after 12 years, I'm pressing the wrong keys. Right, now that's going to repeat a couple of times. And then it goes. So we're on C, D, so not too many notes. Just move it to the, wait, let's move it around so we've got some space. We're just going to do the same thing. So we're going to chop it up. Right. So our root note is G. This sound is F sharp. So this is where it can get confusing. We're going to use Wave Soundshifter, but we need to figure things out. Now, I'm going to turn the Soundshifter down. It's already on 1. Right, so let me just think about this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure this out. So we're going 1, 2. 2 semitones down. So 1, 2. Now, because we've got that visual representation, I know that we're going from G to F. So I'm going to, because we've chopped it up, let's rename this G. Now we want to bounce in place, and we're going to call it F. Perfect. Do that. Now this one's D sharp. So I always go from the root note, so otherwise it's going to get confusing. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 down. So go back to where it was. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. And D sharp. Now let's test it. Of course, that's not right. Let's put that back up. Lovely, perfect. So now let's put that, move that to the left a little bit. It's all about patience and understanding, and it can be very frustrating doing it if you're not careful. So now we go to C. So let's get that first G. So that's C. That G is going to go to C. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. 1. C. Up to 1. So you're back where you would have started. Now we need to go to D. So move out G again. So G to D is 1, 2, 3, Turn that back up. So we always turn it back up so you're always back on how it was before. What we got? So fingers crossed this works. Lovely, that's fine. So that works really nicely. Now it sounds shit because of the changes and they go low, but the fact we've got 2 more bass lines is going to cover it up. So that's fine. Now, this is an interesting one. So what's happening here is on this bass line, on this mid bass line, the bass is going like this. It's going dun 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 dun, and it's going down to a different key. Now that's all well and good in the intro, but when it comes to changing the bass and stuff like that, it can be really complicated. So we'll try it, but more than likely we're just going to flatten that out. I'm just going to flatten it out. Awesome. I'm going to drop this an octave. So I could do that. Turn it up an octave. Now, something important. This, you can see, is 3 bars. Well, the main melody is just, it goes round once. So 1, 2. But what I did is I separated it. So I separated it. And I moved this one there. And I repeated this one. So there you go. So it's been, making sure that you're concise and that you're careful. And that, whatever you do, you make sure you do it perfectly. And that's it. We've now put the track and the mid bass throughout the entire track. The great thing is the way I've done it and bounced it in place, everything's going to the bus channel. So now I can go to the mid bass bus. Did that too soon, so I'm just going to quickly move it. Should move the automation with it. Not doing that. It's strange. I don't know why it's not moving the automation. That should move it with it. Fuck that off. See, even I have problems. I'm going to make a little kick roll. I've separated the channel because I want to turn it down a decibel. Always turn your kick rolls down 1 decibel, so that way when they come in, when they fade in, they're going to sound pretty awesome. Do a little like what? Sorry, that was a wrong terminology. I can't do 2 things at once. The reason why I've duplicated the channel and turned it down 1 decibel is when the kick roll rolls up, it's going to reach its peak, which is 1 decibel quieter than when the kick kicks in. So you're going to get that extra boost in volume, you know? So that's why I've done that. couple of little things there. Whenever you're doing a kick roll, it's super important that you fade out your bass. Remember that it's hard enough to get a kick and a bass to work together, so much so that you have to use sidechaining most of the time. So that's just dun, dun, dun. When you've got it's much, much, much harder. So you need to make sure you're fading away your bass lines. Now, a cutoff filter is not enough to do it. You need to fade it out with the volume as well. So many producers fuck this up, and that's the wrong word. They don't fuck it up. So many producers aren't aware of this, so they just don't know. So all their low end is so nasty because there's so many frequencies fighting for the space available. So all you do is, whenever you do a kick roll or whatever, just fade out your bass with a volume plugin. Now they're going to be nice and clean, and as that kick is taking up all the room in the low end, the bass is fading away and allowing that kick to do its magic. Nice and simple. So yeah, that's about it so far. So listen, a couple of things. One, well, I kind of should have thought about this before. Yeah, listen, so this is basically me following my 10-step guide. The 10-step guide, it's a regimented way of making music. And you might think it's a little bit boring, and you might think it takes away the fun from it. But do you know what? It doesn't. It's the opposite. It allows the person that's doing it to be methodical, to work to a set of instructions that allow you to be creative and create a track from the ground up, applying quality throughout, which therefore leads you to be able to finish tracks and boost your confidence, which in turn enables you to be a great producer. So yeah, the 10-step guide is fantastic. And look, I'm giving this one away for free, but the Illicit subscription service, it's coming. It's called the Illicit Experience. It's coming amplified very soon. It's full of content like this, lots of just random tutorials. Look, you're going to see what it comes with once we announce it very soon. But I just want to give this video away just to show you guys this is what the Illicit Experience is all about. It's all about real music, teaching you guys no hold bars, no secrets whatsoever. I've got nothing to hide, I've got nothing to worry about anymore with quitting DJing. This is just me showing you guys how to make professional music with no secrets. So yeah, a couple of other things. One-to-one lessons. Anyone that is a one-to-one client of mine gets a subscription service for free. You also get a million different benefits, which I'm not going to go into right now. However, I'll show you all the content that you get when signing up. So you get access to all these videos. There's like 200-300 hours worth of stuff. All my samples, all my templates, things like that. You get the Illicit Experience half price. And there's a barrage of other, great things about being a one-to-one client. I don't take on many clients. I take on people that are serious. If you are interested, drop me a message. It's tutorials@adamellisdj.com. That's tutorials@adamellisdj.com. I hope you like this lesson. For any questions, any suggestions, or anything like that, drop me a line. And yeah, thanks so much, guys.